Gentlemen, I wanted to do a quick video to demonstrate a concern I have with the way you have your cart set up. Um, you mentioned that you wanted your brakes on the side where the fixed casters are. Now, this is an experimental cart. We had done something special where we put 6-inch casters with 5-inch casters. So this decking is going to be a little bit sloped, but you'll get the idea of what I'm talking about. They wanted to take something off of a high shelf and take it into a truck and make it easier to unload. So if we sloped this, it made it easier for them to unload from the shelf and load into the truck. But anyway, I digress. So the way you want this set up, you want the brakes on the side of the fixed casters. And I'm assuming that you want to turn it like you would a shopping cart. So with a shopping cart, you would have your handle in the back and be able to turn it like a shopping cart. Now, the way I envision this being used by your team is that you're going to have large TVs in here. And with the 98, even in the 75s, which is a smaller of the bigger ones, but when you have a large TV in here, it's hard to grab both handles. So chances are they're going to be grabbing one handle from either side, whether it's the right side or the left side, and they're going to try and steer it and turn it. Now, this is almost impossible to turn with one hand when you have when you're trying to turn it on the sides of the fixed casters. You really need two hands like you would a shopping cart. And I don't think they're going to be able to use two hands when it's loaded. When it's unloaded, they won't have a problem. But when it's loaded and they're off to the side trying to push it, and this is even more illustrative. Suppose you have it really loaded up. You got a big TV here and a big TV here, or maybe three TVs. And you try and turn it. It's just very hard to turn with that situation. Now, if you have the same situation from the other side, your cart will always turn around where the axis of the fixed casters are, because that's the center point of your turn. So because we're off to the side, it's much easier to turn this thing now when it's loaded if you're driving it from the side with the swiveling casters in the back. It also makes sense to have the brakes on the side where the swiveling casters are. This will make it so when you stop it on a slope or whatever, if this is on a slope, if you imagine this, and the brakes are on the side of the fixed casters, the swiveling casters in the front are still going to want to try to go downhill. So you've got to stop 90 degrees on a hill like a slope, and you lock the brakes in the back. The front is still going to want to head downhill. Now, if you do the opposite and you put the brakes on the side where the casters are, the swiveling casters, when you get on that hill, the front wheels only want to go straight. So that will keep you from trying to tilt downhill. So I'm thinking you'll be better off with your brakes on the side with the casters versus the side with the fixed wheels. Something else that you may want to consider. Now, this is basically an experimental cart. If you look on the base of these carts, there are 3 rows, and let me see if I can pull this up. You see there are 3 middle rows. Now, the way you have that set up, we're going to take these middle rows out because there's no need for them. You're not going to use them. However, if you wanted to put fixed wheels here, then you'll have a cart that will pivot around the center. So this is a kind of an overdone illustration of what I'm talking about. But we have the axis of turning with the fixed wheels, these 2 big wheels, in the center of the cart, and it makes it pretty much easy to turn from either side. So that is another consideration. So obviously, if we put extra wheels on the cart in the center, it's going to cost more because we're using 5 or 6 wheels, depending on whether you want 2 wheels in the middle or 1 wheel in the middle. And we're going to have to basically use spacers on that so it pushes down, since it's going to be in the middle, to give it more force on the decking so it's able to bite into the floor. And that way you can get it to turn and have the center point in the middle of the part. Not necessary, but I'm concerned that the way you have this, you're not going to be happy in the long run. And I think it'd be better operationally. Now, this is your cart, and we'll sell it to you however you want it. I think you'd be happier in the long run if you have the brakes on the side where the casters are, and you push it kind of like a forklift with the castering wheels in the back. That way it's easy to turn with one hand off to the side, which I envision how it will be used. Now, I may be totally wrong. You guys have a different vision for it. But it's a concern, and I want to voice that concern to you. So that's our concern. So you can pass that along to your testing team and get their thoughts, and we'll go from there. But we'll make these however you want them.